What's going on, guys? Isaac here, once again playing some more Medieval 2 Total War. No, this game is not dead. It's not been dead for quite some time. Even with Rome 2 coming out. Just going on a little tangent here. I have to laugh how many people are saying, you know, it's been fun, but, you know, Shogun 2 is now dead. It's not dead. There's no way it's dead. There's plenty of people that did not buy Rome 2. And part of me wishes I kind of had waited for all the, you know, problems to be fixed, but I have not bought Shogun 2 yet myself, but I will eventually once it goes on sale, and I will play that game plenty, and probably put videos up. None of the Total War games are dead. Neither is Rome 1 dead. I guarantee you go on there, you're going to find at least 1 or 2 matches. But, back to Medieval 2, Total War. We're going to be talking about low money battles, and how to win them. Well, low money battles and early period. So, let's look at my army. I have 1 General's Bodyguard, as usual. I have 3 units of Mailed Knights, 4 units of Archers, and 5 units of Armored Sergeants, all with decent upgrades. So, normally these units would absolutely suck. I mean, absolutely suck. But, with this, you'll see that they do quite well. My opponent, he has 2 Peasant Archers, 5 Feudal Knights, 4 Sergeant Spearmen, 2 Dismounted Feudal Knights, and 2 units of Catapults. Now, the rules were no... There is a tree in our way. Just gonna zoom past that. The rules were no artillery, but he decided to break the one and only rule, and you will see very shortly why bringing artillery on low money, early period, is so devastating. Now, in a future video, I will be talking about different artillery types, and basically, as a spoiler, the only good type of artillery out there is the catapult, and he has 2 units of it, so that's 4 units, or yeah, 4 things of catapults getting fired at my men. And believe it or not, it can be actually very accurate. You'll see why in just a second. Apparently they have to wind it up. I find it interesting. And here comes in the first shot through the trees, hits my General's Bodyguard. Oh! Boom. 40 units down to... Let's see, 27. Yes. That is why it's so devastating. So, that... Oh man, this poor cav unit. Luckily those miss. If you want really good artillery, you know, you're going to want to put experience upgrades into them. And look at this, he kills 1 more horse, so now it's down to 26. I thought that was kind of Bolshevik, personally. But I decided to draw out his guys. I didn't know he would fall for it this easily, but put some Peasant Archers out here, and he charges in with his Feudal Knights. I'm more than willing to accept this fight with my Armored Sergeant, so charge in here, and soon we have just a huge brawl going on. I'm gonna fire some arrows into these guys, and boom, I'm gonna charge in, and this is not something they want. I'm even bringing over the guys from my right flank as well. Plus all these arrows, definitely not a good thing. And somehow he routes this unit of 41 Armored Sergeants. I think they got in just a bad situation.
Our men are under
now look
attack.
at this charge.
We need to act.
And look at all those horses just die. They just automatically, boom, stab them, and they all just die. And this is not good for my opponent, because he put most of his money into these horses. He has tons of horses. And boom, there goes his general. Just like that. And look at my men, you know, they're still pretty well off. I mean, they lost a couple men. Quite a few, actually, I think. And then I'm using my Mailed Knights, just basically kind of do a side charge, rout these guys almost instantly. Look at that! He hit, it passed over him and still killed him. And so, now, all that's left is basically his infantry. Don't worry, I did pull back, I didn't charge into these Sergeant Spearmen. So, here's my plan. Let's go ahead, pause it, look at what's going on. I have tons of Sergeant Spearmen on his right flank, also my left flank, and 2 units of Dismounted Feudal Knights on his left flank, or my right flank. So, my Sergeant Spearmen no matter how upgraded, probably will not defeat these dismounted feudal knights. Either way. They are quite superior to Sergeant Spearman. So, what am I supposed to do? Now, I'm definitely not going to reform because catapults are going to be firing at me. So I just got to charge in there. So my thought was, send my Sergeant Spearman in, preoccupy his armored sergeants. Yeah, I'm getting this confused. Send in my Spearman against his crappier Spearman, because look at these guys. They have no armor. And something I really like about Medieval 2, with defense upgrades, they get armor advancements. So these guys have tons of armor. And I'm going to reform my horses, my Meld Knights, and I'm going to basically charge upon his dismounted feudal knights. And this is where the video will be split. And first part, we're going to be talking about what I'm doing on my left flank. Now there you see my horses rotating that way. I'm going to go ahead and charge. He is shooting some more catapults at me, but that's fine. Charge in here. These guys don't stand a chance. Even though 33 versus 75 does not matter, they can still probably kick their rear ends. And we're just going to watch some of this cool action up close and personal. Yeah, look at these guys just getting destroyed. Down to 58, 57. My god. And here I see more reinforcements coming out. Here's a mistake. If he truly wanted to win this engagement, my opponent should have moved his guys out here and outflanked me. That probably would have caused rout because I didn't have anything. My general's bodyguard's right there. Would not have showed up in time. I have some archers, but they're focusing on my right flank, so a little micro mistake by my opponent. Now here, we're going to watch something quite interesting. Yes, catapults can kill each other. I found that quite hilarious. And he's going to shoot and hit the invisible wall that's right there thanks to that. But you can see I'm just completely destroying his left and mid with my armored sergeants. He does not have anything to withstand him. And his poor catapult
Only
crew,
half the enemy force remains.
He's already down one catapult. And, yeah, these guys don't stand a chance. So, time for some close-ups. And this is one thing I don't like about Rome 2, is I think they focus too much on graphics and stuff like this. I am totally fine with this kind of stuff. These are high graphics. They look totally fine by me. It's a fun game. People just worry too much about how things look. It's like, stop doing that. Okay, so this is where we focus on the left flank and intertwine things. Very interesting. So you remember how I said that I'm going to send my Sergeant Spearman after his, or my armored sergeants versus his Sergeant Spearman. So this leads the very troublesome dismounted feudal knights. So let's unpause this, and I'm going to reform my Meld Knights, and they're going to charge forth. Now, how devastating medium cav is. They call them heavy cav, but they're probably just medium cav. Well, we're about to find out. That was a pretty pitiful charge, if you ask me. That wasn't. And look at that. Look at all these kills. That is incredibly devastating. Down to 19 men. Now, not a smart thing of me to lead them in a prolonged battle against these guys, but I did it anyways because I kind of knew I could. At the same time, all these units of archers, remember I brought 4 of them, they're all firing at these guys, and they're taunting for like no reason. Pretty stupid idea, if you ask me, because then you get shot like that guy. And that was from his arty, which we will talk about. Look at this, 4 guys left, they're wavering. I don't know how they aren't dead. I'm focusing fire on those peasant archers. And here we're going to do another charge. That one was definitely devastating. Wow, thanks for shooting.
Only half
that
the enemy
horse.
force remains.
He is deep fried now. That is quite terrible. You should feel really bad about animal cruelty and stuff like that. But, anyways, 32 men left in this. This unit of 4 is still alive. I don't know how, but they are. And we're just going to watch the onslaught. I forgot to do that whenever I did part 2. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. That is a leap. That is never good to walk into a tree. And here, 22 guys. Ran these guys through because I knew I could force a fighting to death and then rout once I walked right past them. You can do that in this game, actually. You can force a unit to rout just by running right through them. It's actually very useful. And these guys are fighting to death. I don't think they cause any casualties to your guys. I've never actually noticed it. I don't know why that happens. Now this is the point in time where the video comes together as a whole once again. As you can see, I'm victorious on both sides, so I must charge forth upon his Sergeant Spearman with all of my remaining Armored Sergeants. Basically, my opponent's screwed at this point in time. Mailed Knights coming over here, taking care of a couple routing units. I got a unit of catapults back there, and this unit of catapults, I'm going to charge them with my Mailed Knights. And I'm reforming. Now, I don't want to charge these guys from the side. And because, believe it or not, they could probably take this charge pretty decently, even though they are pretty bad. I mean, I would get off better, but I'm not going to risk it. So I just go after his peasant archers who are there anyways. Now, I could do a hammer anvil after these guys rout, but you'll see shortly that they're already wavering. And against this many armored sergeants alone, they are screwed, and so they go ahead and rout off the battlefield. And so now it's become what every single battle is at the very end, a mopping up operation. So I'm just killing these guys because they probably would have come back if I didn't follow them. Last unit is, yeah, those guys are routing. Last unit is 7 forward catapult guys. And just as a little bonus, I went and attacked his catapult with some of my Sergeant Spearmen. They will go off in a little bit. Just a little FYI, in this game, you can attack artillery pieces themselves. I don't know if you can do that in other Total War games, but I know you can here, and you can destroy them, and it doesn't take that long. Alright, we're going to watch this charge, see how devastating Mailed Knights are. 7 guys. Let's see how many survive this charge. Yeah, not a single one.
This is
Not
a
single
clear
one of them survived.
victory that goes to only men of
Pretty
great
devastating.
virtue and valor.
And thanks to my advisor, we did win that. And look, I'm down to 70%. So that would have died very quickly. Now we're at the results screen. I know you can see that. I don't have to tell you that. But let's go ahead and look at what this means. Well, he brought just, 20, 30 more men to me, but he lost so many more. Only had 89 left, while I had 481. Let's look at kills. And this will actually show you a lot. Look at this. 49, 92. 92, that's probably most I've ever recorded. Why did I get so many kills, especially with my armored sergeants? They suck. No one brings them up in that much force. Well, like I said, this is going to be talking about low money. So, my opponent decided quality specialized troops was the answer. And if you know anything about the environment, specialization is a bad thing, because typically you die off first as a species. And sure enough, if you look at the pile of corpses, his specialized troops died off very quickly. They died very easily because I had so many Sergeant Spearmen. And that is why you actually, in low money early periods, you want to bring Sergeant Spearmen. Not only is it somewhat historically accurate for the English to be bringing them, but they can take care of both guys. I said, with my right flank, I didn't want to take my armored sergeants against them. That was because I would lose too many troops. I could have won that fight, even, I could have outflanked and whatnot, but in the end, it would just make more sense to do that. But armored sergeants can definitely hold their own, especially since I gave them upgrades. Number 2, catapults. That's kind of a personal choice. If you want to bring them, and if it's okay, you can. But I don't like to, and they are really devastating. But at the same time, you can see how stupid they are at times. I mean, they shot their own guys and blew up their own catapult. And once you're up close, because I charged the distance very quickly. I got stuck here against his horses, but then came up here, and he couldn't do anything. He did not get a single kill with his catapults after that. In fact, he got, negative kills by killing his own catapult. Also, do not underestimate the power of charges, like you saw on the right flank against his dismounted feudal knights. Those Mailed Knights do quite a lot. Basically, things to remember with Medieval 2, archers don't do that much. In fact, let's look at kills. Peasant archers, 8, 21, 22, 18. Yeah, even with low money, very low armor, they still don't do that much, so don't expect a lot from your archers. Basically, go out there and have the initiative. My opponent came into this camping. He didn't even move his Sergeant Spearmen to outflank my armored sergeants, which could have won the battle for him. So don't be afraid of that. And always have fun. Don't take this game serious. It's just for fun, especially how old it is. Like I said, you know, I don't care about graphics, but it is just for fun. And it's kind of funny to watch them fight, because it's kind of derpy looking. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something awesome, interesting, or will help you out later on with a different battle of your own. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Check out the new YouTube page, Total War Network, that I've been partnered with. They are a very awesome group. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next chapter.